You know, when you think about Hindu mythology, there are these two serpent kings that just stand out, Sheshnag and Vasuki. They're these cosmic powerhouses, and get this, they're brothers. Their stories are all tangled up together, but it always comes back to one question. How do their powers really stack up against each other?
Right, this is the big one. It's the question that sparks so many debates. Sheshnag versus Vasuki. Who's really the more powerful of the two? I mean, it sounds like a straightforward who would win kind of thing, right? But trust me, the real answer is so much cooler and way more complicated than you'd think.
Okay, first things first. We're not talking about your average snakes here, not even close. These are cosmic beings, and each one is directly linked to a supreme deity. You've got Sheshnag, who serves Lord Vishnu, the preserver of the universe, and then there's Vasuki, who's literally wrapped around the neck of Lord Shiva, the destroyer. So yeah, the power we're talking about? It's on a whole other level, a universal one. So, where do we even start with a story this big? Well, to really get a grip on their power, we have to rewind all the way back to the beginning, to their shared origin. Because here's the kicker. This isn't just some random rivalry. This is a story about two brothers who ended up taking completely different paths in the cosmos. Yeah, you heard that right. They have the same mom and dad, the great sage Maharishi Kashyap and his wife, Kadru. They come from the exact same bloodline, which honestly just makes the fact that their destinies went in such wildly different directions even more fascinating, don't you think? And in this family, there was definitely a pecking order. Sheshnag, he was the oldest, and right from the get-go, everyone knew he was the strongest, the most valiant of all the brothers. So that left Vasuki, the younger one, with a pretty big shadow to step out of. He had to carve out his own legacy.
All right, so let's zoom in on the big brother first, Sheshnag. Now, his story is interesting because it's not really about flashy fights or epic battles. It's about this incredible, universe-sustaining responsibility. His whole path is about stability, endurance, just immense, quiet strength.
So what happened was, pretty early on, Sheshnag got completely fed up with all the drama and backstabbing between his siblings. He couldn't stand it, so he walked away from it all, went off to the Himalayas, and started this intense penance. And it worked. Lord Brahma himself appeared, super impressed with his devotion, and gave him this amazing boon, that his mind would always, always stay true to the path of righteousness.
But Brahma didn't just stop at a blessing. Oh no. He had a job for Sheshnag, a massive, crucial role. He gave him the title Dharanidhar, and that name means the upholder of the earth. I mean, how cool is that? It perfectly sums up the cosmic scale of what he was about to do.
So here's the mission Brahma gave him, and it's a big one, probably the single most important job for stability in the entire cosmos. You see, the Earth back then was super unstable, just wobbling all over the place. Sheshnag's duty was to just hold it, to hold the entire planet perfectly steady on his giant hood, stop the chaos, and basically keep cosmic order in check. No big deal, right? And this job pretty much defined who he became. He's the king of the netherworld, Patalaloka. They say he has 1,000 heads, and he's so immense that he's known as Ananta, the Endless One. And get this, in this massive, stable form, he's the actual couch that Lord Vishnu rests on for eternity. Think about that. His power is just infinite, patient, the very foundation of everything.
Okay, so that's Sheshnag. Now let's switch gears and talk about his younger brother, Vasuki, and he's a whole different story. If Sheshnag's power is all about that static, unmoving endurance, Vasuki's is all about dynamic action. He didn't run from the world. He jumped right into the middle of it and became a key player in its most legendary events.
So think about it. When Sheshnag took off to go hold up the planet, it left this huge power vacuum among the Nagas, right? Someone had to lead, and that someone was Vasuki. He stepped up, took the throne, and was crowned the new king. Suddenly, the responsibility of leading the entire serpent race on Earth fell on his shoulders.
And man, what a leader he turned out to be. I mean, look at his resume. He lets himself get used as the churning rope for the Samudra Manthan, which was brutal. He becomes the actual bowstring for Lord Shiva's bow to take down a powerful demon. He single-handedly saves his whole race from being wiped out in a sacrificial fire. He even protects baby Lord Krishna during a massive storm. The guy is just always in the thick of it.
And for all those incredible sacrifices, especially what he went through during the churning of the ocean, he got the ultimate reward. Lord Shiva himself was so impressed by his strength and his will that he invited Vasuki to come and rest around his neck, becoming his sacred necklace, his companion for all time. What an honor!
And as if that wasn't enough, there's also the legend of the Nagamani. It's this mythical jewel that's said to sit right on Vasuki's head. And it's not just for decoration, it's a massive symbol of his royal status, his power, and all the wisdom he holds as the king of the Nagas.
So, there you have it. You've got the unshakable pillar on one side and the dynamic catalyst on the other. Which brings us all the way back to where we started. Who was actually more powerful?
Well, when you really lay it all out, the contrast becomes super clear, doesn't it? Sheshnag is with Vishnu, representing the stability that keeps the whole universe from falling apart. Vasuki is with Shiva, representing the action that makes all the big cosmic events even happen. So you see, they're not really enemies or rivals at all. They're more like two sides of the very same cosmic coin.
What we're really talking about here are two completely different types of power. Sheshnag's power is static. It's foundational. He's the bedrock the universe is built on. Vasuki's power is dynamic. It's instrumental. He's the engine that drives the universe's greatest stories forward.
Let me put it this way. One brother literally holds the universe together just so it can exist. The other brother jumps into the fray and helps shape the destiny of that very same universe. So, how can you possibly say one is more powerful than the other?
And that brings us to the real heart of it all. Maybe we've been asking the wrong question this whole time. Maybe it was never about who was more powerful. The real lesson here is that true power isn't about being on top, it's about balance. For the cosmos to work, you need both. You need the steady foundation, and you need the force that pushes for change. You need both Sheshnag and Vasuki.